That means the Ohio State debater has to save the day. And in case you're wondering, there have been zero-score debates in the past. Jesse was close, I'm not going to lie. There have been some zero-score debates in the past. All right, we'll see if he can do it. This is Chris Coen's 16th year at the Great Debate. He has been doing stand-up since his first paid gig at the Tiki Bar next to the Hilliard Bowling Alley in 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Coen.
Thank you, Dan. I was talking to Dan before the show, and he and his wife were telling me about an incident at their daughter's 7th grade basketball game last night between Dublin and Powell broke out into a fight, and then the dads took the fight out into the parking lot. And I said, it's just great to know that there's more Zanesville natives moving to the greater Columbus metro area. We have a ref this year. I'm glad we have Nikki as the ref. We took someone who did an entire 7-minute set about team colors and made her the rules official. We'll get right into your Michigan team. What can I say about Daryl that you just can't figure out from looking at him? Daryl is a huge Pearl Jam fan. I bet you guys didn't know that. I'm not so much a Pearl Jam fan. I pulled their lyrics from the interwebs, and one of their biggest songs lyrically goes, and I know, I don't want to stay at all. I don't want to stay. 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 Songwriters, all 5 members of the band. When a stand-up comedian bombs, you can blame it on the single person. This is like watching a crappy improv where 5 people got together and contributed to the mess. You don't watch improv either, right? That's good. Jesse's here for the first time. I'm not saying Jesse has a large nose, but he's the only person I know that gets a handwritten letter from the Tourism Bureau of Columbia. Not the right crowd. All right, I thought you guys, some of you partied in the 70s. Don't fool me. Kenny Mock is here. Kenny had a big year. He won the World Series of Comedy. Let's hear it for Kenny Mock. The World Series of Comedy is like the real World Series, except for it's missing money, audience, and talent. Adrian from Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young is here tonight. I should have retired years ago. He famously, he didn't do it this year because I wrote this joke, thanks for nothing, but he usually brings Michigan shirts and tries to sell Michigan shirts in Columbus, Ohio. No one's going to buy them except for Daryl Dawson. So basically, Adrian's entire scheme to pay his rent depends on whether Daryl Dawson has enough extra money from comedy gigs. So you're getting evicted this year. Sorry about that. Let's get on to Michigan. Well, Michigan. Well. Connor Stallions apparently was your Heisman frontrunner last year. You won the national championship by cheating, and now you're 5-5. Let's review your fantastic season. They lost to Texas, but don't worry. They really brought it into high gear the next week when they beat the other Southern powerhouse, Arkansas State, by 10 at home. I tried to look online. I don't think Arkansas is still a state. I don't think they got the memo after the Civil War. I'm just checking. You bounced back with a big win against USC and astounded people by throwing for 32 passing yards. That's the worst passing performance since I played flag football in 2005, and my official stat line was 1 pass attempt, intercepted, return for a touchdown. I never played flag football again. You beat Minnesota by 3 at home. For those of you who like to gamble like me, you're usually a 3-point favorite at home, so basically you tied Minnesota. Minnesota was thrust into the national football debate this year because their governor was nominated for the vice president of the United States. And one of his ideas to get the male vote up for his party was to video game stream himself playing AOC in a game of Madden football. Because nothing gets people out to vote like watching someone else play a video game. After the game, he threw a pick 6, and he said, quote, "As a former state championship assistant football coach, AOC runs a mean pick 6. Now, for those of you who don't know much about football, you don't run a pick 6. It's not a play call in the playbook. Like, holy hell, we're going to lose the Super Bowl. Have you tried running a pick 6? Well, I've been running to get a yard and a half on first down. Holy crap. Why didn't someone tell me? You lost to Washington, which again, I don't know if is even a state. You beat Michigan State barely. Michigan State, as I brought up last year, was a team that had to fire its coach because he sexually harassed the sexual harassment coordinator that he himself hired. You lost to Illinois. Does anyone know who Illinois' best football player in their college football program history is? It's Red Grange. That's correct. He was a 5'7", red-haired white running back that no one alive has ever seen play. You lost to Oregon, and just last week, you lost to Indiana, which coincidentally was, and still is, college football's all-time losingest program. But, you say, Michigan, we're the all-time winningest program, right? Yay, Michigan. Ignore the fact that the first 30 years, Michigan basically played drunk frat houses and called it like their schedule. Michigan's bowl game in 1907 would have been like against this table. Plus 2 day drinkers from Sports on Tap. That'd be like round 1 of the BCS. Your first-year coach isn't even done with the season, and he's already on the hot seat. I did see that. I went back to his first press conference and tried to see what he said as an inspirational quote to his team. His actual quote in his first press conference is, "I coach hard, but I love harder." That's why everyone is transferring away from Michigan. When you walk in the film room and your coach is playing Al Green, you get that blue hell out of there. In fairness, I said I would bring this up every year, and I will. At least he didn't need a booger on national television.
Your play clock ran out a while ago, but I wanted to see how this was going to go.
I got one more. I'll wrap it up since I'm last. Your coach cried last year on national TV. Our goal at Ohio State is to make him cry even harder on national TV. And as a grown man, there's only 3 reasons you should ever cry in front of other men. 1, watching Old Yeller, that's a given. Number 2, you run out of booze and you realize your direct deposit doesn't hit until after the liquor store reopens. And number 3, your daughter comes home and says, "Meet my new boyfriend, Adrian Cosby." That's it.
Nikki, did Ohio State win today?
Well, we almost ran out of time at the end of the game, but at the very last second, Chris Coen scores a touchdown for the win.
Yeah!
7 points.